All right, class, before we move on to our notebook or anything else, we're going to review some of our parts of speech using the words that we have. So I'm going to use the word in a sentence, and I want you to help me figure out, or I want you to be thinking about which part of speech it is. So before we do that, what are the three parts of speech that we've learned about so far? All right, the first one we learned is a person, place, or thing. What is the part of speech that's a person, place, or thing? Excellent. It is a noun. So a noun is a person, place, or thing. All right. The next word, or the next part of speech we learned is an action. So what is the name for the part of speech that's an action? All right, great job if you said verb, because that is our next one, a verb. We've been focusing mostly on those two, but we learned one other part of speech, and that is a word that describes a noun. What word describes a noun, or what part of speech? All right, if you said adjective, good job. You're having to reach back a while. I don't think we talked about those last week, but we do have some today. So, and we want to keep practicing with them. So good, adjective. So the three parts of speech we know are noun, which is what? Good, a person, place, or thing. A verb, which is what? An action, good. And an adjective does what? Good, an adjective describes a noun. All right, first let's come to our word show. All right, so I'll use it in a sentence. I want you to think. So don't just guess, right? Because we don't want to guess. That we don't learn anything by guessing. And you might get it right, but instead of guessing, we know what we need to do to figure out if it is a noun or a verb. And that's you ask yourself, is it an action? If so, it's a verb. Or is it a person, place, or thing? If it's a person, place, or thing, then it's a noun. All right, so use it in a sentence, think, and then tell me what part of speech it is. All right, show. Please show me that insect that you found. Show. All right, please show me that insect you found. Is that a person, place, or thing, or is it an action? So noun or verb. What is it, class? All right, good. In that sentence, show was a verb. How about in this sentence? My favorite show is about to be on TV. My favorite show is about to be on TV. All right, in that sentence, is show a person, a place, or a thing? Or a person, place, or thing? Or is it an action? All right, in that sentence, show was a thing. So show was a noun. So show can be a verb or a noun. All right, so when we have a word that's spelled the same and sounds the same, but they mean different things, we call those homonyms. So we're going to go and write show on our homonyms page later. Right now, we're just going to remember, okay, this is a noun, and it's also a verb. All right, let's see. Next, we know we talked about do, right? Do is a, let's see, I will do the laundry. Do. That's kind of a funny expression that we use in English, but we use that too for things like do the dishes. I will do the laundry. Is do an action, or is it a person, place, or thing? It's an action, right? So we know that do is a verb. All right. Ooh. And so since do is a verb, we know it, we just have a different form of the verb here. How do we say this to spell it? Good, do's. All right, next we've got different, or how do we say it to spell it? Good, different. All right, I'm going to use it in a sentence, and I want you to think, Is it a person, place, or thing? Is it an action, or is it describing something? Is it describing a person, place, or thing? All right. You have a different shirt on than I do. Different. You have a different shirt on than I do. All right, let's think about that. Let's see, different. Is that an action? Let's see, you would have to say something like, I can different. That doesn't make any sense. So this can't be a verb, because if you can't say I can, and it doesn't make any sense, then it's not a verb. All right, is different a person? Let's see, it's not a person. Is it a place? It's not a place. Is it a thing? Is different a thing? It's not. All right, so it's not a verb or a noun. That means it's got to be which of our three parts of speech that we know? Good. It's got to be an adjective. And we can tell that because in the sentence, you have a different shirt on than I do. Different was describing the word that came right after it, which was shirt. Right? Different was describing shirt. It was describing a noun. So an adjective describes a noun. So different is an adjective. All right, let's see, same. That's the opposite of different. That makes me think it's probably going to be the same part of speech. So let's try it in a sentence. We have the same shirt on today. Same. Let's see, same is describing what word? Good. Same is describing shirt. All right. Shirt is, what part of speech is shirt? Good. Shirt's a noun because it's a thing. All right. So if we're describing a noun, what part of speech is that? Good. An adjective describes a noun. So same is also an adjective. Shirt we already talked about. What part of speech is that? Good. Shirt. That one's easy. All right. I know adjectives probably seem a little complicated right now. We're just going to keep using them until we get as comfortable with them as we are with nouns. All right. Let's see. The next word is these. These flowers are beautiful. In that sentence, these is describing the word flowers. Remember our adjectives? There are 4 different questions that our adjectives can answer, right? Whose, what kind, which one, and how many. Right, so once again, our adjective questions, what kind, which one, how many, and whose. All right, these answers the question, which one? Which flowers are you talking about? You're saying these flowers. All right, so while it's not describing them as far as saying color or something like that that we might think of, it's answering the question, which one? Which flowers? And we say these flowers. All right, so these is what part of speech? Good, these is an adjective. Oh, those is kind of the opposite of these, isn't it? These, you're talking about something that's in front of you. Those, I think about talking about the ones over there. All right, so if these are opposites, then this is probably going to be the same part of speech. But let's check and see. If I say, those flowers are beautiful. Let's see, those is saying which ones, which flowers. We're describing the flowers and saying those ones. So just like we could say these ones, and that's an adjective, and it describes our noun flowers. Those is the same way. So these and those are also adjectives. All right. So that is it for our parts of speech, for reviewing our parts of speech for today. All right, so go ahead and get out your orthography notebook. We're going to put a few of our words in it. All right, turn to page 4. Give me a thumbs up when you're there. All right, so we are on page 4. At the top, we've got our vowel pairs. So our first sets of vowel pairs switch out which letters so we can use them at the end of English words? Good, we switch out our Y and I, as we can't use which one at the end of English words? Good, I. So we trade that for Y. And then on the other side, we have our, which ones do we trade out so we can use them at the end of English words? Good, our W and U. All right, so what are the first 2 phonograms we have here? I put them in pen so you could see them better. This one is what? Good, ow, o. And how about this one? Good, ow, o, oo, All right, well, we had a word that had O in it. Which one did we use in the word show, class? Good, we used ow, o. Is ow, o saying its first or second sound in the word show? Good, it's saying its second sound, so we're going to skip this first box. And then over here, in the second one, we're going to write show. Say the sounds, will you write them? All right, class, what do I need to write to spell show? Good. And good, O. Which O is it? Excellent. Ow, O. All right, and mark it. Remember, we always start at the beginning and mark. Go through each thing. See if there's anything to mark. Show me how I need to mark my ow, O. Good, it's saying its second sound. All right, next let's go to page 11. Page 11. All right, page 11, one of my favorites, the one that tells us the ways our single vowels can say their names. So a single vowel usually says its name. What's the most common way? Good, with a silent final E. What's the second way? Good, in an open syllable. And our third way is, it's not for all the vowels. Say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by 2 consonants. All right, so we had an open syllable in one of our words today. I'm going to have to move this up. Try and remember, which word did we have an open syllable with? Right. It was our first word of the day. It was anything. How do we say anything to spell it? Good, anything. All right, so we have our more consistent vowels written in already. Let's say that rule. A, E, O, and U usually say A, E, O, U, or U at the end of a syllable. All right, we don't have our less consistent vowels written in. What's our less consistent vowel rule? Say it with me. I and Y usually say E or I at the end of a syllable, but may say I. All right, so let's come and put it down right here. I and Y usually say E or I at the end of a syllable, but may say I. So in anything, our Y, I, E was saying E because it's in what kind of syllable? Good, an open syllable. So we'll make this first box for, it's saying E. So we're going to write an Annie thing. All right, so Annie is how many syllables? Good, 2. So An, E. Go ahead and write that. Make sure you put your syllable break at the end. And then thing, what do I need to write to spell thing? Good, it's ng. Write those sounds, say them while you write them. All right, read me the word you just wrote, class. Good. E. Which E is it? Good. Yeah. I-E. Okay. Good. Good. All right, so while we're writing it, we don't want to mark anything, then we'll go back. Let's see. There's nothing in there. How about this? Good, it's saying its third sound. How about this? Good, we underline our th and good, also our All right, nice job, class. I'll see you in the next video.